Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube exclusive edition of The List, bro! Here with the Podcast Wrestling Society. Thank you for joining the society. As always, I am your loving leader, benevolent host, Midwest Monster, and your boy from Brohio, Troy Adams. And with me today, the Ricky Steamboat to my Ric Flair, he is Greg. What up, Greg?
What up? Finally a good one.
What do you mean, finally? Why, didn't I give you Paul Roma one week?
You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you watch it. I could give you a bad one like Steve Blackman. Oh, wait.
He's badass, I'll say that.
He's the lethal weapon. Well, what else is a lethal weapon? Brose Cuervo is the list today. That's right, coming in hot.
Yeah.
We got the top 5 best and top 5 worst Ruthless Aggression era gimmicks, bro. And we were talking off air a little bit. I can almost guarantee there are a couple of them on my list you do not have, and a couple of them on your list that I don't have. So, I don't know. The bad ones were fairly easy to fill out. The good ones, not so much.
The good ones are tough.
There were a couple of the good ones that I was thinking, I'm like, it's like right in my face, super obvious. I don't know why I didn't think about it right off the bat. It took me a little while, but regardless.
Happens.
Yeah. Well, I'll ask you, Bro Coca-Cola, which one do you want to do first? The worst or the best?
Let's do the best because I want to save the worst for. Yeah.
Okay.
The worst is the fun one.
All right. Well, how about you go first on this one?
All right.
Let's hit the sounder. It's time for the list, bro.
Oh,
this is a bad sign.
Yeah.
When you're already laughing.
Yeah. It's been. This was. No, I'm laughing at the bad ones, but we're doing the worst, the best ones first. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm looking at the bad ones.
Which is a bad sign for later on, but okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I didn't put them in any order. Well, yes, I did actually. My mistake. This one's gonna shock. Well, maybe shock. I don't know. I thought one of the best ones was JBL. The way they turned him into JBL.
Oh man, yeah, that was a glaringly obvious one too that I do not have on my list. So, yeah, you're right.
I mean, he was great all of a sudden. I mean, not great, but he mattered.
Yeah.
And this was like a month after coming out of a tag team.
Yeah, I know.
That's tough.
Well, Bruce Pritchard was talking about that on his podcast. He was like, he was like, why don't we just let him be him? Because he said, he was already doing the Fox business, whatever, and he had already come out with that book when he had the long black hair and everything, and then they redid the cover with his short hair. Do you remember that? I do, yeah. Yeah, so he was like
holding it and promoting it when he came out with the new short blonde hair. I thought that was funny.
Yep. Yeah, and he was like, just let John be John. And so I don't know, but he said they had to keep Bradshaw because for some reason Vince loved the name.
Yeah, I heard that.
I don't know why, but I mean it didn't suck.
Bradshaw sounds sweaty. John doesn't.
When I think Bradshaw, I think big sweaty cowboy. When I think John, I just think, God, John. All right, anyway.
Number 4, I said, and some of these were like guys are already there, but like stuff changed. I'm going to keep that in mind. So number 4, I said Kane. Because that's when they took the mask off him and made him a monster again.
Yeah, they really changed his career a lot because I mean he started getting stupid there for a while, and then
you don't say.
Yeah, and then they made him cool again. And that's just like a never-ending cycle with Kane. He's cool, he sucks. He's cool, he sucks. Like, it's just... and
the
now,
guy's got range. What can you say?
yeah, he goes from cool to suck in 0.3 seconds. But all right.
God, I hope he never goes to HCW. They'll ruin him.
Oh, man.
Okay. Next, I had to put it on there because, obvious. I said John Cena.
That's 3? Yeah, no,
3.
Okay.
And he kind of like started it when you think about it. Like he said, Ruthless aggression to Kurt Angle and that match. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know because Pritchard was talking about it's like who started it because he said Vince kept using that as a buzzword backstage.
Vince started,
and
promos,
then
but like Cena was the first one to say it though.
Right? Yeah, he was the first one to actually take it on camera, and it's like, oh, there you go. And then he ended up being the face of the frickin' company.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Number 2, I don't know if it was a gimmick, but I just said because it was a recreation of the Horseman, so I said Evolution.
Yeah. Wait, which Evolution? The one with Randy Orton in it, or the one with Mark Jindrak?
Yeah, the real one with Mark Jindrak.
Yeah, because that was the one that mattered.
That poor guy.
I don't know. Like, I've heard a couple people just crap on him. Apparently, like, Jim Cornette is not a fan of his at all either.
He was not bad. I don't understand. If they're crapping on his talent, I disagree with that.
Yeah, I don't get it. But whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, he had no personality and he was only a so-so worker, and like I thought he was fine. I don't know. Believe it or not, and I know you'll believe this because of other things I've told you, I have a Mark Jindrak figure.
Of course you do.
Yeah. The reflection of perfection.
Random ass figures ever.
I do.
I'm pretty sure you have a Rob Conway figure too.
I have 2.
See, there you go.
I have one in La Resistance, and I have one.
Who the hell has 2?
Well, because I bought a 2-pack of La Resistance, and then I bought, which was weird that it was him and not Sylvain, but and then my dad randomly bought me a Con Man figure. So yeah.
Oh, just look at him.
God, and that freaking porn stash.
And then number 1, because I was a fan of the biker, but I love the old Undertaker, so I said the Undertaker number 1 because they brought it back.
Are you talking American Badass or Big Evil, or does it matter?
I liked them all, but I like the Dead Man more. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. They brought him back technically in the Ruthless Aggression era. Yeah. Tail end of it, I believe. Right.
No, it was like right in the middle of it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. WrestleMania 20. When do you consider the cutoff for that era? 20.
Oh, I said 2007 or so.
So is that 25? WrestleMania 25 ish or?
Yeah, 23.
Okay. Good enough. All right. Well, that's a good list there, Broklahoma.
Oh my God.
What? Got a wrestling reference in there, kinda.
A horrible one, but sure.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say it had to be good. All right. But anyway.
Okay.
Well, now it's time for my version of the list, bro. All right. Let's get it on.
Let's do it.
Number 5. You know what? I only had one on here that you had. The other ones were... I'll say this. I'm not saying they were the best, but I liked them for one reason or another, whether they failed or not. Number 5, Mordecai. I actually liked that gimmick, and I thought it had legs. I was really disappointed when they canceled it.
Opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Kevin Thorne. I liked the gimmick. I thought it was a cool
I
thing.
liked Kevin Thorne, but
I thought the antithesis of the Undertaker gimmick was kind of cool. Number 4, It's a little random one, but it was my favorite version of this guy. I said A-Train.
Oh man, yeah. I feel like once they changed the name to A-Train, he became like awesome.
Yeah, he was cool, and he mattered. I mean, the crowd chanted "shave your back" at him all the time, but he was much better than the hip hop hippo.
You bite your tongue.
Did you ever hear that George Steele, like when he came in, George Steele wanted to make him George the Animal Steele Jr.?
No, but that would have worked.
Yeah, and I guess the reason that they didn't go through with it was because when
Because he had his piercings.
No. When they were in the meeting and George Steele is like pitching this to everybody, Bruce Pritchard was like laughing at him. But he said later, he's like, I wasn't laughing at him. I was laughing because he was like, I thought it was awesome, but at the same time, I mean, it was funny. He was like, but George Steele took offense to that and said, nope, don't want to do it. Forget it. It's like, wow. That would have been cool though. I
can see it.
Yeah, right? I mean, he looked like him. Number 3, I said the Hurricane. One of my favorites. I still love that freaking gimmick. That's another one. I have 2 figures of him. He was cool. I liked him as Gregory Helms too.
He still does it though.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
I know, which kind of shows people give a crap. Like, he can go off and be Gregory Helms or Shane Helms or Gregory Shane Helms or whatever the hell all he wants to, and that's cool. But everybody wants the freaking Hurricane. I was a little pissed.
That's my preference of him, but yeah.
Yeah. I was a little pissed when he did when he came into the Royal Rumble and he was only there for like 2 seconds. I was like, damn it.
Good job, bro.
I mean, obviously he wasn't going to do much, but I wanted him to do more than just that. You remember the Hurrah choke slam?
I do.
That was awesome.
I loved when he tried to do it to Big Show. That was funny.
He should have been able to do it to a big guy just one time, just so people could be like, what the hell?
Super strength.
Right? Quite a turnaround from Sugar Shane, right?
Yeah, he was the last Cruiserweight champion ever.
Crazy to think about. Number 2, I like the gimmick. I didn't exactly like what they did with it at certain times, but like I was invested in his storylines, man. I said Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah, they shouldn't have dropped that.
Yeah, I do, like that whole thing with the bringing out the guys dressed like terrorists and choking the Undertaker with piano wire. That just like, I don't understand how anybody pitched that, and then other people were like, yes, we should do that. But then they like literally killed his career. He was great. Like, I liked him as a performer. I thought the gimmick was cool. I have a figure of him as well. Him and Daivari.
Of course you do.
And number 1, I said John Cena as the Doctor of Thugonomics. Because, I mean, look what he went on to become.
Because he is Ruthless Aggression.
Ruthless Aggression. All right. Well,
Sweaty.
What the hell? Big Sweaty John. All right. Little Johnny.
Don't get ahead.
Oh, God. I forgot about him, who I have a figure of, until just now.
Oh, of course you do. You got all the crap.
He came in a 2-pack with Paul Heyman. Kudos if you remember he was his manager.
I'm almost certain that Paul Heyman came with him. You act like you went and got the Heyman figure and he came along with it. No.
Well,
nice try.
Well, no, I'm not saying I actually bought it both for the equal one. Like I wanted them both equally. So I was like, they come in a 2-pack together. That's awesome. And yeah, I don't know. Don't judge me.
No one's judging.
Yeah, I can see the judgment in your eyes, Hogan. All right. Well, that does it for the best. I guess that means it's time for the worst, eh? This is Man, this is going to be a lot of crap. I can already tell, especially when you were laughing before you even got to the list. So,
I'm looking at it now. I'm like, wow.
oh, yeah. All right. So let's switch gears here a little bit and get into your list, bro. What you got?
Whoa.
What you got for us, bro? Country for old men.
Wow. You
Hell
said
yeah.
that.
Gotcha.
You're digging now.
That was a good one. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, number 5. We mentioned him already. I said Heidenreich.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't know about you. It's just like when he comes out with the blonde hair, like the short blonde, like almost military, spiky hair, whatever, and then he's got the blue eyes. He comes out to that song, and his name is Heidenreich. I don't know. And he's wearing all red. I don't know why I was thinking like Nazi.
I was thinking like a Russian thing, but yeah.
Yeah, and then he stomps to the ring almost like a march or something. I'm like, all I could think of was freaking Nazi.
And then he does what he did to Michael Cole.
No, in the closet. What happens in the closet stays in the closet. No, it doesn't. It goes on UPN.
Oh my God, we all had to see it.
They were still on UPN, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think UPN's bragging about that.
They're the CW now.
Number 4, you had this on your best list. I said Mordecai.
I will say this. The way it was portrayed was awful, but it could have been better. I also like that he did not have a cross. It was a symbol.
Yeah.
So there you go. Him and Undertaker.
They never gave it a name.
Yeah, him and Undertaker, they didn't have crosses. They had symbols.
Yeah, symbol was get the hell out of the ring.
I guess so.
Number 3, I said Billy and Chuck.
What? I believe certain human rights groups would disagree with you on that one, Greg.
Not because of that, just because like they just
it had no payoff.
Yeah, I mean
like, the payoff was there was no payoff.
They built it up, and then the payoff was basically, whoa, we're not gay, and that's what the whole thing was. Like,
like, look, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway,
he's like, if I was, I would marry Chuck, but that's what he said.
Oh man!
But yeah, they go and like they build that up as like that, and then they go and just never mind, it's over.
I have a Chuck figure.
Of course you do.
That's another one. I do not have a Mordecai only because they never made one. He wasn't around.
Number 2, I don't know if you remember when they, because there's a couple of like gimmicks he had, but there's one specific one. I think you'll know what I'm talking about. I said the Basham brothers.
Which version?
Specifically the S&M version.
Oh, yeah, where they were getting whipped by Shaniqua on a regular basis. Apparently, nobody has anything pleasant to say about Linda Miles, a.k.a. Shaniqua. Apparently, she was just not liked at all. And, I don't know. Bruce Pritchard and Jim Cornette highly disagree on the Bashams because Jim Cornette acts like the Bashams were great. Like, not together, but like, themselves. Like they were his top acts. And that's actually where we got the thank you, F you, bye.
Yep.
Because for those of you that don't know, I guess when Danny Basham, the skinnier of the two, was called up for like a tryout, they wanted to look at him and he had like long hair and they made him shave his head because they wanted to see what he would look like bald. And they send him back down bald, and Jim Cornette's like, what the hell? He's like, he's my top baby face, and you shaved his head, now he looks like a trucker.
He was more pissed because he could have did a hair match.
Yep. Yeah. And he said he called up John Laurinaitis and left him a message that said, next time you want to shave my top baby face's hair, Give me a call and let me know first. Thank you, F you, bye. Click.
Oh, hey, boss. You want to yell at me, boss?
I know he doesn't like to oil you up, but I do, so you should fire him. Do you have some baby oil now? I can rub some on you. You're looking awfully vascular today, boss.
Oh my god.
People
I love when
power.
he does that. And then number 1, of course, I
Yes.
had to say Eugene.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
By the way, we will run through some honorable, or rather dishonorable mentions for this one.
yeah. Do you have a Eugene figure or what?
I do.
Of course you do.
I can't
You
lie.
literally have all the crap from this era.
I really do. I have this first one that's on my list too that I'll let you know about. But all right, cue the sounder. It's time for my list, bro. All right, let's get into it. Number 5, I said Pirate Paul Burchill.
Yes. He had a cool entrance though.
He did. I have a figure of him, but this one I legitimately bought because it came in a 2-pack with William Regal, and that was the only way I could buy William Regal at the time. It's the only way I found it. But yeah, so that yeah, it was bad. And like, remember that one scene backstage where all the little people, the juniors, were running around, and you got the guy that was supposed to represent, quote, the network, giving an interview.
Cannon, yeah.
Yes. He was giving an interview. Stuff's just going crazy. And then all of a sudden, like, you see this sword rip through the back, like, drop area. And then Paul Burchill walks through. Everybody stops and just stares at him. And he looks at him and he's like, hello. And then it's just like walks on. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Just embrace it.
That was right up there with, like, he found out that he had some ancestors that, lived in, or that came from, like, the Cayman Islands or something, and they were pirates back in the day. So all of a sudden, well, now he has to be a pirate. Just like when, Tony Atlas found out he had African blood, so he has to be Saba Simba. Knock me over with a feather. He has African blood. Like, whatever. Number 4, this was a tag team, but it bears placing on here. I said the Dicks.
Yes. The Dicks.
And they went to...
I just want to say that because we can get away with saying it right now because it's not swearing.
Yeah,
they were called the Dicks. They were male strippers.
Plus, this is YouTube, so whatever the hell. And yes, they were. They came out looking like Chippendale dancers, just oiled up and whatever.
Complete ripoff of the great American Males, by the way.
Oh, well, hell yeah. They didn't have the cool theme song, though.
Nor did they clap their hands above their head, but...
Oh, my gosh. That should have been their theme song. American Dicks. American Dicks.
I'm going to leave that alone.
Oh, man, they had a short stint in TNA as well, because of course they did. Their names were the Dicks, and Vince Russo was writing for them at the time. I think they had to change their name, though, didn't they?
They built that in for them.
Yeah, right. Number 3, I do not have a figure of this guy. Not this gimmick, anyway. I said Kerwin White.
I forgot about that.
Because if it isn't white, it isn't right.
You really said that.
That was his catchphrase. I'm not being racist. This is real. This is real.
And it's funny because this is a Mexican guy saying it, by the way.
God, yeah. For those of you not familiar with the work of Kerwin White, he bleached his hair. He wore khaki shorts, a button-up striped shirt. He tied a sweater around his neck. And he was driven to the ring in a golf cart by his caddy, Dolph Ziggler. This was
This is all real, by the way.
yes, and this was freaking Chavo Guerrero Jr. Keep in mind. The only reason they switched him back to Chavo was because of Eddie's death. So if there are two positives that you can possibly pull out of such a large negative of Eddie's passing, it's that he no longer had to be called Kerwin White, and then, the rise of Rey Mysterio.
I still can't believe that was a thing.
Oh, I know.
Also, we got a point. I think he came out to like Frank Sinatra music, right? That was a thing too.
Yeah, some Frank Sinatra knockoff, whatever, and the only liner is something about "I take my coffee by the pool." And I'm like, what is going on here? And then they decided if it isn't white, it isn't right. It was too racist, so they changed it to if it isn't Kerwin White, it isn't right. That's less racist. Just why did Chavo hear this and was like, you know what? Sure. And who looked at Chavo and was like, you know what? Yeah, let's change you up a little bit. Give you some personality. The Ruthless Aggression was a weird time. But anyway, that brings us to numero uno on the list. That's number one for those of you, unlike Greg, who don't speak Spanish. I said, who else but Eugene?
Yes.
Who else could it be? That was like one of the worst gimmicks of all time. And the thing is, he still does this gimmick on the indies.
Oh my God.
It's just...
It was like offensive. It was wrong. It was just, there's like every bad thing in the book.
Yep. And do you remember he was supposed to be Eric Bischoff's nephew?
Yeah. I feel like they quietly let that part go after a minute.
Yeah. I like how he the first time he showed up on his jacket that was buttoned up wrong, he had a note pinned to his jacket that said, "Hi, I'm Eugene." Like he was a package being dropped off. Mother of God.
Can't make this up.
And why would you want to?
Maybe a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is that, bro, for the list this week. Next week, here on YouTube, we definitely... Well, first of all, before we tell you what's up next week, if you have some other ideas for best or worst Ruthless Aggression era gimmicks, comment down below. We love to hear your feedback. Definitely follow us and tick the little bell down below to stay notified whenever we post new content, which comes every single week now on the YouTube. And can you think of any other... I mentioned before, some honorable mentions here, dishonorable ones for bad gimmicks. Can you think of any off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, but give me time.
There's the world's largest love machine. I'll put that one out there.
That was like later. I don't know if he...
That was
maybe.
Ruthless Aggression. And it was awful. He was a raper. Like, he would sexually assault men in the ring, and then heaven knows what he was doing to Lillian Garcia. I don't want to know.
I don't either.
There's just so much wrong with all of that. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess you can count some stuff from ECW then, like the Zombie.
Oh, hell. Well, that was like a 1 week thing. So that one...
Still happened.
Yeah.
People don't forget.
I can't really think of any others off the top of my head. But yeah, there were some good ones, there were some bad ones, there was some in-betweeners, but yeah. Anyway, next week, we have the top 10 worst gimmicks that WWE changed. whether WWE changed the gimmick when they came to WWE or while they were in WWE, WWE repackaged them. So, if that makes sense. But we will bring that to you next week. That should be fun. Thank you for joining me today, Greg.
Yeah, it was memorable.
And we will come at you later. And don't forget to check out the podcast. Peace.
Later.
Thanks for watching this YouTube exclusive video for the Podcast Wrestling Society. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're picking up what we're throwing down. And of course, we always welcome feedback in the comments section down below. And if you want to keep up with the weekly podcast that drops every Wednesday, links to the show page are in the description down below, along with our social media handles and our associates pages. Come on and join the society.